Action. Welcome everyone to Monday West Coast Swing. We're here on May 15th, 2017, here on the Monday right after the Endless Summer Swing Camp. So for today, we are talking about some of the core technique principles that they were really heavily enforced over the weekend. By the way, I'm Matt and this is Desiree.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
So we talked a lot about working with our basics and making those basic patterns feel more comfortable and be clearer. So first thing we talked about was for the leaders, thinking about what's called lead projection, where I changed my body angle throughout my 5 and 6 of a basic pattern or 7 and 8 of a whip pattern so that it's projecting where I want the follower to go. So if I'm standing directly squared up to the follower is going forward and then going backwards, right? They're not passing because I'm blocking them.
Like a push break or a sugar push.
Yep. If I open up my left shoulder, Desiree will pass by my left side in a left side pass, for instance. If I open up my right shoulder, Desiree will pass by my right side in an underarm turn, for instance. So, when I'm actually dancing socially, I don't really think about what pattern's next. I just think about what I'm doing to finish that pattern, and then where I land is what I lead next. So I might do a variation where I finish here, and then I wind up with my right shoulder open, so we do a right side pass variation, and then I finish directly in front, so we're going into a push break. So I'm thinking about that flowing organically. But I can't ever do that if I don't practice this basic way, where all I do is just, okay, so Matt said it's a right side pass next, so it's a right side pass. And then it's a push break, so I'm staying square. And if I want to do a left side pass next, I'm opening up my left shoulder.
This is something you can practice even at the beginner level. If you feel comfortable with your triples, make that last triple leaders projected one side to the other. Open that door a little earlier. It'll make it easier for your follower to know where he or she is going next.
Yep. Next thing we talked about was kind of sloping our leads. So when I know my hand is going over the follower's head, for instance, in a push break tuck or an underarm turn, I can start to think about lifting my frame and my energy up a little bit throughout 5 and 6 and carrying it into 1. An helpful visual I like to use was kind of imagine you have like a metal ball in your stomach. And so when I'm doing something like a push break or a whip where my hand's not going over the follower's head, I'm dropping that ball down into my hips. When I'm doing something that is going over the follower's head, I'm thinking about lifting that ball up into my chest. You can also kind of imagine you swallowed like a helium balloon. And so it's not picking you up on your toes, it's not picking your shoulders up, it's just a little bit of buoyancy kind of towards your core. So what that looks like, we did a push break and underarm turn, without that energy, I just keep the arm down, and it's a little bit like, surprise, as the arm comes up. Whereas if I want to do, again, push break underarm turn, I'm starting to lift my energy, and it continues throughout 1. So it's a more gradual transition for the follower. Throughout all of this, we had the followers are really working on traveling this slot. So it's a very important kind of core principle of West Coast Swing. I want to think about as a follower traveling with whatever space I'm given. Right? If you're packing for a trip and you only have a small suitcase, you're going to stuff that suitcase. If you suddenly decide to bring a bigger suitcase, you're going to still stuff that suitcase. So I can't dance to a small suitcase when I'm dancing with a big suitcase, right? And you're not really connected.
Right.
We talked about how there's kind of 3 different anchor variations for that. And there's more than 3, but we're not completely connected, and so we anchor away from each other throughout 5 and 6. There's the version where we are connected, and so we're anchored in place, right, on the spot. And then there's another version where I, as a leader, decide that I want to travel my anchor towards the follower, in what's called float. And Desiree knows to back up because she's constantly seeking to fill the space that I'm giving her. And that's why you sometimes get some teachers that will teach, oh, well, you should back up on your anchor, and some teachers that teach you should anchor on the spot. And if you look at how they're connecting, both of them are connecting in these ways, but you want to always think about followers seeking connection as opposed to seeking a foot position.
A constant is that the follower is always moving into the connection given.
Yeah. The last thing we talked about was for the leaders, thinking about on the underarm turn, I'm thinking about lifting my arm straight up so that it can clear the follower's head easier, as opposed to trying to bring my arm across in front of the follower's face. It's not really comfortable, and then the follower's going to headbutt you. Right? I don't want
Perhaps a duck and compromise the follower's frame.
So I want to keep it really comfortable and clear the follower's head. This is also one way that's helpful if I'm dancing with a taller follower. They don't get an accidental haircut. So, that was your class. Thank you all for coming out, and hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you all.